There are other bathrooms, Triadana. You could use the actual toilet and not go to the, that one. Recovering breath? Does this thing need, ventilation? Not sure how this pharma chamber works. Are you... He had to get out to start breathing, so I'm kind of concerned that it's, They decided not to have this thing be filled with oxygen for some reason. That's slightly alarming to me is all. Oh, okay, so we've got carbon dioxide down here. We've got slicksters. So we found what we're looking for pretty quickly down here. Easy peasy. So let's see here. Where do we want to go? We want to collect some of this crude oil. So first of all, let's just dig down here. We're going to want to make a reservoir or something for crude oil. Where are we going to do that, though? Let's see. What if we made a big bucket for crude oil? Is there a reason to not put it in our base? Probably there's a reason. Well, so what I'm thinking is we make a little room up here for gathering crude oil. We can pump it wherever we want later. But let's make it very deep. Actually, let's make it on the other side of this. So let's see what am I actually thinking here? I'm thinking of just making a very tall section here. I don't know if it actually needs to be this tall. But I'm going to use this to pump all of our... Any oil we can get is going to end up in here. And we're going to make it pretty narrow. The reasoning behind making it narrow is that... if you remember how weird it was in here with the liquid moving... Oil behaves like that all the time. So if you put a pump, like say we're to put a pump down here, it's gonna behave like that all the time. Can I cool this in some manner? What am I even doing here? Maybe I shouldn't be building it in here. Oh crap. You gotta get out of there, my friend. Maybe I should be building this up in the ice area so that they bring it there and it can be cooled. But I want to trap slicksters in here and dump carbon dioxide in here as well. Where are we dumping this carbon dioxide? We're emptying it right here, I think. So ventilation, I actually want to dump carbon dioxide into this room. Just slightly over. Okay, so we now have an exit down here in case people get stuck. The rest of the walls are built up, so no one's likely to get into that situation that one of our duplicants got into earlier. But what I want to do is make this very tall area. Let's give it a pump down here. Let's give it a bottle emptier up top. We're going to give it mesh tiles so that things can go through there. this is going to have an airlock in it. Food shortage, how we looking here? Growing. Like, these are getting very close, so... Yeah, I think we're still in good shape. I don't think we need to queue up any food creation orders. Vazl, my friend. Where are you? That's Triadana. You still got the Slimelung, buddy. Why are you going down here every once in a while? Do you need to be in the medbed? You chose to go into the medbed earlier, but I don't know if that was better for you or not. Slimelung is leaving. Is there bad oxygen in here? Okay, we need to make sure that's high priority deodorizers in here. We need to make sure that Vazl here, buddy, has clean air in this room. And then ventilation, let's also make sure that just on the exits here, that these are priority 7. So these deodorizers need to be prioritized right here. Because as long as he's still getting... read the description on build bar, says Relis. Let's see. What was I looking at? That was medicine. I wanted to look at this. Is this actually good for getting rid of? Greatly accelerates health restoration and the healing of physical injuries. Improves recovery from diseases. Affects health. Recovery speed bonus increase. Disease health. So Pharma Chamber doesn't increase health at all. And then it's the same for doctoring. But disease recovery is higher in the Pharma Chamber. Is Slimelung counted as a disease? Duration remaining 0.2 cycles, fatal if untreated. So he's getting cleaned up here. I think he's doing all right. My boy Vazl, I'm sorry, buddy. So, let's see. We found oil, and thus we can get plastics and stuff. What do you guys think? You guys think we should get some more duplicants going? We've locked ourselves to 6 as a kind of just as kind of a precautionary thing more than anything else. Let's prioritize this area to 6 as well. Let's just finish this thing up. Do you guys think we should bump up to like 10 to 12 or something like that? Obviously, I'd need to... So oxygen generation might become a problem. We might have to work on that. We would definitely need more farmland. We'd need to double our farmland if we went to 12. I don't know. I'm not sold either way. I like having the 6 as long as everybody's doing their part and not dying. Vazl is now cured, it looks like. Triadana's health is also improving. So I think that putting these deodorizers in here really helped him out. In general, having the deodorizers in there with the sick people is handy, I think. You want to make sure that they don't get worse for sure. So what can we? Let's put some just art in here. Can't really do anything else in this little area. So we're getting oil. Let's get this dug up over here. Priority 6 actually, because we want to mop this at as well, and we want these slicksters exposed to more carbon dioxide. Right now they're in a very low carbon dioxide area. Oil reservoirs down here. That thing's gonna, I guess, every once in a while erupt and spit out oil. It looks like a geyser, basically. So this area that we're building right here, I want to use to trap our buddies. We need plastic manufacturing at this point. So as we're working towards this, this is going to be used for crude oil, which I think we can just tell it to do it now. So anybody who can is going to bring crude oil in here, dump into this thing. We can sweep this stuff out of here. We have this very tall section here. I want to put a relocation point here from the trap perspective and get slicks. Some of these slicksters moved up into there. And what that's going to allow us is to pump carbon dioxide in here, which we've already kind of done a little bit. But once the carbon dioxide is in here, the slicksters can be eating it. They'll just stay here, and then they'll poop out crude oil, with which we can use in the future to make plastic. We need that tech, obviously, to be researched, which they're working directly on right now. I'm just going to put a regular sweep order right here. Regular sweep order across the base, because it's kind of... There's some messiness here. And also, once we can relocate things, we can catch, like, these hatches and move them in here. We need a hatch on each level to be eating this fertilizer. But you see this whole thing, like, you see how this is working, right? Fertilizer synthesizers producing natural gas. Natural gas is being dumped into natural gas generators. They're spitting out polluted water, which is being fed back into the fertilizer synthesizer. It's kind of beautiful, honestly. Can we prioritize? We have it at a 6. Can you guys not get to these tiles over here? That might be the problem. Like, you should be able to remove this, but I don't think you can get to these other spots. That's the priority tool. What I wanted to do was place ladders over there, just as a helping type thing. Just put a couple. Oh wait, I don't actually know if you needed the ladders. Looks like you kind of figured it out. You are going to need the ladders eventually. You probably didn't need them necessarily. We probably could have figured it out. But no point not having them at this point. So they're fixing that up. We can deconstruct this ladder. Just for safety, we'll put a ladder right there. Close this up. Prioritize that sweeping higher. And I think that we'll be able to close this thing up and call it a day in here for that. This is just going to be our oil reservoir. We need more technology to be able to finish it. Because right now we have... so did we research these yet? We haven't researched animal control. So animal control is up next, guys. And sweep some of these when you guys get time. Don't prioritize it, but it is kind of nasty. You can sweep this stuff up too. You know what? Just sweep everything. It's actually kind of annoying. So much stuff to sweep, my friends. Okay. Wah, wah, wah. They still haven't prioritized this. I want them to finish getting into here because I want these slicksters getting enough carbon dioxide to be able to make some oil. How hot is this oil that they're making? 170 degrees. It is relatively hot. Let's finish building this section too, please. And we can close this off with the old priority 6 tile wall. And then we're good. Bottle emptier, let's put this at a priority 6. I kind of just want you guys to, if you're not doing anything else that's super important, I would like you to be bringing oil into this area. But only if nothing important is going on. Okay, so now this area is getting carbon dioxide in it. And these dudes are chewing it up. Let's release this carbon dioxide that's over here because we cannot mop it yet. Also, you know, we should kind of just dig our way to our friends over here. Because we got some slicksters around that could be providing us with basically eating carbon dioxide and generating crude oil that we can then, like for now we're just going to be mopping it up. At some point we could maybe build a... The problem with crude oil is that it's very hot. Very, very hot. And I want it to kind of be less of a hot type of situation, so 108 degrees, 110 degrees, that's okay, but I don't want this 170 degree nonsense. So we freed the slicksters. Next up, wow, this, if I break into this oil is going to go everywhere. Look at this. 3,000 kilograms, 4,000 kilograms. Normally, these things max for liquids, I think it's supposed to be like 1 tile per 1,000 kilograms. I believe that's the logic. Same thing with gases and whatever. It's like, once it gets above 1,000 kilograms, if you open it up, it's just going to like start flooding everywhere. Like if I made a hole here, this crude oil would actually kind of shoot out, which is surprising to me at least. So what I was kind of wondering is if I should try to put, like if I put a wheeze wart on the side here, would this cool this bottom area out a little bit? I could probably do that, but at the same time, I don't know if it's that important. How polluted is our oxygen? I think it's okay. I think that it's okay. So we just, so this is what I'm talking about. So we just finished the research for creature traps and relocators. So what I would want to do is place a creature relocator right here, which takes 50 kilograms of plastic, and then I'd need creature traps to grab these dudes. Man, keeping these guys under control is a lot of mop orders. They're just crazy down here. They love priority 7 dig this one. And then dig that one at priority 7. I just want to get rid of these bleach stones and have them available to us. So here, dig these bleach stones up, please. Please. Please and thank you. Okay, so everybody's kind of recovering. Vazl's at 65%. Stress, overall stress, DVO's a little more stressed out than we'd like, but everybody's in manageable ranges. We are slowly getting oil in here, as you can see. So the thing would be for us to make a refinery for this. And honestly, like, plastic gets super hot when it's being created. So I might want to make it up here. Which is kind of why I was like, should I make the oil reservoir down here? It's kind of weird. I mainly put it down here because it was closer. We could make our generation and stuff down here too. That's probably fine. The only issue is that, like I said, the plastic is very... it's very hot. Creates steam and carbon dioxide and heat, plus 162 watts of heat. Are you out of your freaking mind? Like, that metal refinery, which we put up there because I'm like, it gets too hot, right? It only generates 80 watts of heat. So that's why I'm like, plastic, I really want to dump in a cold biome. Maybe there's a cold biome near here. You know, sometimes you could have a cold biome that's like off to the left or something like that. But what are we going to do about that? That's extremely hot, and it's already a hot area down here. And we don't want to really make things hotter for us. Do we have Wheezewort seeds? We have one wheat wart seed. Wheezewort? Wart seed. We can get some more. Let's, at a priority 7, actually. Let's dig this stuff up. Don't dig that up. Let's mark these for collection. If we harvest these things whenever we have time, those are, like, unreachable to us. But if we harvest them whenever we have time, what that's going to allow us to do is, we can turn sleet wheat directly into food later if we need to. Like solid, delicious food. Okay, so we're going to break in here and grab some of this Wheezewort. And then, for simplicity's sake, right now I'm going to drop some of this ice in here. We have 3 of them. I'm going to make 3 sections here to try to just make sure this area doesn't get overly hot. So copy our settings to those ones. So just bring the Wheezeworts in. And so that's good for that. Okay, so this is going to start getting a lot colder in here. The rest of our base is, like, pretty cool, but this area, like, we got all this machinery in here. How much do these make heat-wise? Heat production. So these actually, fertilizer synthesizers don't create all that much heat. Natural gas generators. Do they not even... They've got to create heat, right? If they don't create heat, something crazy is happening, like something about thermodynamics. Heat production, 20 watts, okay. So yeah, I really should have probably left the space down here. Oh, wait, I did. There's a space. There's a couple spaces down there. So we're going to want to drop a Weezewort down here at least, probably at some point. And it may have been better to run it on these, but these... So the way I have it set up right now, because they can't pump out a lot of the carbon dioxide, is that I think that these things just aren't going to be running very frequently for the time being. Once we can get high pressure vents and we can burn through our carbon dioxide faster, that story changes a little bit. I want to get connected to this. So this area is being saturated with carbon dioxide pretty quickly. It was empty and now it's at 1,100 grams. 1,100 grams. 1 kilogram. I don't know why I got confused by that for a second. A bunch of sand in here. Please mop all this stuff up. I wish that I could just give them like a recurring, like, hey, keep this thing mopped down here order. Because there's we got a lot of little dudes here that are making a mess. And I'd like to make sure that it is cleaned up. But as far as things go, that's pretty solid. I mean, we got to oil. It comes down to now we want to create plastics. We could get some more here. Let's get some more Weezeworts. How are we going to do this? So we can build that there. Harvest all these as well. And dig that up. Let's prioritize the digging of the wall at a 6. Building of the ground thing at a 6. And getting that Weezewort at a 7. 6. Whatever. Numbers. Numbers are difficult, my friends. And then to get this one... Let's see. We can dig through here. Dig this piece up. Have a... I mean, we could probably just have that single ladder there, but that kind of scares me a little bit. Because I think if we did it like this and we ripped this out, that's probably fine. Although I'd like to keep this sleet wheat here. So let's just do a little ladder situation like this. And let's prioritize this stuff at a 6. And then make sure we say harvest this thing if you can reach it. If you can reach it, harvest it. That's all I ask of you. Gases. Ooh. Chlorine, natural gas, carbon dioxide. These gases. Alright, we may need to... Oh man. Our water supply also running low. What are we burning water on? We're burning water on oxygen generation. Plumbing and research. Oxygen generation, plumbing, research.